The best way to quiet title for Florida tax deeds, it depends on your business model. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Good morning, this is Alfred Einstein coming to you from the beautiful Pockets of Specialized Knowledge Studios. Let's see if we can bang this one out. This is a pretty good topic. Pay attention here. If you're a tax deed buyer, especially in Florida, you have choices that are affected only by your business model. So pay attention. Let's see if we can get some of this through. The best choice depends on what your plans are for the property. So it matters if you're going to be a landlord. It matters if you're going to try and sell the property right away. This is the first thing you have to determine. And generally, before my group buys a tax deed, we already know what we're going to do with it if we get it before we buy it. And that's generally the best way to handle your business. Know what you're doing before you do it. Okay, there are 3 ways to quiet title in Florida. One is you pay the taxes for 4 years. The second is that you hire a specialty title underwriter. Tax Title Services and Clear to Sell are 2 that come to mind. And 3, you file a quiet title lawsuit. Now, I'm going to get into each one of these individually to discuss the pros and cons of each. Pay the taxes for 4 consecutive years. So what happens is if you buy a property at a tax deed sale, if you pay the property taxes for 4 consecutive years and you want to sell right after that, after the 4 years is up, you pay the taxes, you get a contract, you can bring it to any title company in Florida, and they will write you a title policy because you met one of the statutory requirements for clearing title for tax deeds, and that is pay the taxes for 4 consecutive years. So I can't imagine that you're going to be a short-term house flipper, and this is going to be your choice because it doesn't fit. It doesn't come close to fitting. So if you're going to pay the taxes for 4 consecutive years, it is the quietest way to get your title clear. You don't have to notify anybody. You're not going to get anybody's hair in the back of their neck standing up. Nobody's going to know anything, and it's not going to cost you any additional money. Just rent the property out for 4 years, and you're perfect. So this is the perfect way for a tax deed investor that plans on renting out their property to clear title. So if you're a landlord, this is the way to clear title. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now if you want to clear title in order to sell it, you can hire a specialty title underwriter. And there's the 2 that I mentioned, Clear to Sell and Tax Title Services. They each have a contract with a title insurance issuer. I don't know the names of who they are. But that contract says that they will be allowed to offer a service that will write a title policy without exceptions, but the specialty title underwriter has to take extraordinary steps to make sure that the clerk or the administrator that handled the preparation of the sale did everything according to the statutes in that state. In other words, every party was noticed. Now, you know what's interesting in Florida? The notice has to go out, but it doesn't have to be received. That's what's funky about it. But in any event, as long as the tax office does all the proper steps in order to get the parties notified about a tax deed sale, then the specialty underwriter will go ahead and take a look at the file. They'll confirm everything. They'll give the okay to go, and probably, so I think both of them, advertise under 20 days. So speed is definitely a factor here. They can get your title clear in 20 days. But know this, if there's a problem, they ain't going to fix it. That's going to be up to you to fix it. But most tax deed sales are done properly. So fear not, 20, 25 days on the outside, you'll be able to sell it. You can probably go right to contract in the very beginning, 2 days after you get the tax deed, and just make it subject to the ability for you to write a title policy on it. So if you're in a hurry, 20, 25 days, that beats the heck out of 4 years, don't it? And the specialty title underwriter will charge just about the same amount of money as an attorney will, which is on our next slide, depending upon how many defendants. So the last time I used a specialty underwriter, I think it was between $3,500, give or take. So speed and a fixed cost, $3,500. You know you're done, you're in and out. This is the way to go for most investors. And then lastly, file a quiet title lawsuit. Now, why would I file a quiet title lawsuit when A, it has the potential to be more expensive because there's a live human attorney in there billing me? It also has the potential to take more time because the courts are so slow. And in Florida, you have to be in circuit court. You can't go to county court. So motion calendars are pretty packed. Judges' calendars are also packed. So why would I choose to file a quiet title that's going to cost more and take longer than a specialty title underwriter? Well, I'll tell you why. The only reason to file a quiet title lawsuit is if there's a surplus that was created by your bidding and your winning that property that you want to try to claim for the owner. Other than that, I'm sure there are other reasons, but I can't think of a good one. Because it's more expensive, costs more time. Everybody's going to be awakened because they're going to get service, a process. They're all going to get notified by a sheriff coming to their door and say, here, yeah, that's me. You're served. And then they're going to read the summons. Have 20. It's a process. So why would investors go through the pain of a quiet title lawsuit when tax title servicers or Clear to Sell will do the same thing for you without involving attorneys and courts? Like I said, I'm going to reiterate. If there is a surplus that you're trying to get for the homeowner, of course, you're going to earn a fee off of that. Then I file a quiet title lawsuit because I want the judge to make a determination of who's entitled to the lawsuit. And generally, second mortgagees or even first mortgagees, they're not going to show up. They're not going to defend a quiet title lawsuit because they know there is no defense. So why would the only other party that may be entitled to the surplus, they would be because they're the higher priority, but they're not going to hire a lawyer to defend a quiet title lawsuit? So you're going to have nobody fighting back after that surplus money. And if it's 30 or 40 grand and you're splitting it, that's a $15,000 discount you just got on that purchase. So think about it. Also, it depends on your business model. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Wrap it up. That was it. I pretty much wrapped it up on that last slide. We'll go over them once again. Wait 4 years. If you're a landlord, you can afford to wait 4 years, sell the property when you want. After 4 years, just walk into a title company, tell them that you paid the taxes, they'll confirm it, and boom, you can get a title policy. Investors that want something quick and something inexpensive, specialty title underwriters will do the job for you. It'll be less expensive and happen within 25 days. You're in and out just like a short-term investor wants to be. And lastly, there's a quiet title lawsuit. You only file those if there's a surplus. If you don't know how to work surplus, I have a training that's offered on this. What's this called? On this website? No. Anyways, it's on this. It's format? No. Anyways, I offer surplus training if you want to learn how to do it and combine it with your tax deed business. Then you take advantage of the fact that you're going to have an attorney, you're going to have nobody arguing against you, and you have a judge that can make the final determination. So that's when you file a quiet title lawsuit. So I hope you got a nugget or two out of this. I know I did. I enjoyed doing this. It's great fun. And that baby looks just like my old baseball coach, Pat McQuaid. Although Pat is probably dead now. and I'm close to it. But I don't think that's his baby picture. But man, if you can see him standing next to that baby, you'd think that was him. Anyways, bye-bye. This is Alfred Einstein, Pockets of Specialized Knowledge. Please stop by my website, www.pofsk.com. A lot of free content, more information about our training, and links to our YouTube channel. And by the way, if this is on YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe. That would be great. It helps the channel, and of course, we all know it. It needs all the help it could get. Again, have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.